Hey, this is Mike from the Graphic Novel Show. Are you interested in starting and running your own podcast? Well, you know, this is the second one that we've done. We used to do a different one, and we decided to start this one. And last time we used Anchor, and you know what? We decided to go back with Anchor again because they are the easiest way to make a podcast. They give you everything you need in one place for free. You can do it right from your phone or on your computer. Anchor gives you creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. You can do that right from your phone. That's quite amazing. They'll also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Now, what you need to do is go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hi, I'm Parker, and I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Mike, and I am he, him, and whatever else fits. And this is the Graphic Novel Podcast. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, this is a show where we read graphic novels or sometimes some short comics, zines, things like that. And then we do a review discussion. And we can talk about a lot of different things on this show.
Sometimes we talk about divorce. Sometimes we talk about abortion. A lot of times we talk about queer issues.
We have kids and relationships, all different kinds of stuff. So, yeah. So it's a cool show. And we're glad you're listening. And if you like our show, we'd appreciate if you go to
Twitter, go to Apple Podcasts, and give us a great rating. And if you leave a review, we may read it on the air.
And if you visit us at anchor.fm, Graphic Novel Podcast, you can actually leave a voice message that we can play on the air.
That's exciting. Do you remember growing up and hearing your voice, thinking how cool it would be to hear your voice on the radio? Yeah.
All right. Well, and on to today's show.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Parker.
How you doing this week?
I'm doing great. How
Me
about
too.
you? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good. Yeah, it's raining outside though.
It is. It's rainy and dreary
gloomy.
and damp and cold, but I guess this is
It's
whatever.
winter.
Well, it's winter, and it's what people expect from Seattle, you know?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's not how it is all the time.
It's not. I feel like, whenever you watch movies, Frasier, yes, it's always raining. If they're outside, it's raining. Although there was the one episode, I'm sorry, I hate Frasier. There's so many shitty things in Frasier, but one episode, well, it was shitty then too.
It was, but
far
now,
more acceptable.
now we see, yeah.
But they're actually recording, I assume, in Seattle because he rides a monorail and he's getting a stork or something. Or plaque. I don't remember. It was something. He had to be there and he's his car breaks down and he has to ride the monorail. Anyway, it was
the monorail.
I've watched the series far too often, far too many times, obviously. But
yeah,
such is life.
So let's see. Got a new calendar so we can plan out our
I'm really
next
excited about the calendar.
2 months at a time.
I don't think calendars are very exciting for most people, but they're exciting for me. I like it.
No, I think it's good. I think it's up on the wall so we can see exactly what we're doing. So we got our books for the next, we've got our next 5 weeks planned.
Yeah, more than that too, because we have all of February planned.
All of February.
We have some juicy stuff planned for you.
Yep. Well, Black History Month. So we're going to definitely embrace that. So the book that we're working on today, and we've got a bunch of previews too over the next few weeks too.
Yeah, we got some good previews.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff.
You guys are so lucky that you get to hear us talk about this stuff.
Yes, really. We're lucky to get to read this stuff.
I love it. I'm so loving it.
Well, when I did comics TV for a while, DC used to send me a whole package of black and white pages, like
pre-finished before they were done,
stapled together.
Photocopied?
Yeah, just stapled in the one corner of whole books. It was cool. We used to get those, and we had those a
Photocopied because the actual comics themselves were so valuable.
because they weren't out yet.
Oh,
they were previous.
They weren't printed yet.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they weren't even out
see.
yet. They were still. They were like early copies. So we were getting those for quite a while.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah, one time, I forgot was it McFarlane Toys or whoever?
What?
We got a whole box of toys.
Really?
Oh,
Did you put them on your
huge
set?
box. Oh, we had them all over the set. I let Steve keep a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But
he held on to that stuff for so long.
He still does.
He still has a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Did he move again?
Oh,
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're in his mother-in-law's house.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But so we had all these toys, all these Spider-Man toys, and I had bought Spawn toys, and we had all this stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice when you get that stuff, so you can you can give people something early. Sometimes you can give them a review of something and say, hey, look, this is really great.
Yeah, we have a really awesome book that I'm excited to read that's going to be coming out in February.
Yeah, it is.
And so we're going to make sure that we get that read and reviewed beforehand so that you guys can be like, oh, I want to buy this the day it comes out.
Yeah, we got another one somewhere. Where is it? I don't know where it is.
I don't know.
Another one that we're probably going to read next week. Along with... that one, that one we're doing a full book on.
Yeah, which one?
Oh, next week.
It's up there.
Next week we're doing Prison Island.
Oh, right.
I read that one already. It's pretty good. It's locally based. And at the end
that doesn't sound like a good thing. Prison Island and it's local.
They lived on the Prison Island. Oh, and the 27th, we're going to have our best of 2019 for what we've read so far this year because we didn't start till what? September or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be, that's why we did 3. Mike was like, why don't you think about what your top 10 are? And
I said 5.
5? Okay, I can't remember.
10.
And I was like, that's way
33.
too many. Yeah. So we negotiated down to 3.
Yeah, 3's good. It wasn't a long
I like them all. It'll be difficult to pick 3, but it's I'm excited.
So I've read some stuff. I follow a lot of creators on Twitter and some other people, and some people tweet out stuff and retweet other people's stuff. And there's been this discussion. We talked that we probably won't ever really review something that we don't like.
Yeah.
But then I was reading stuff, and you hear people do reviews of movies and things like that, and they're like, I give that 3 out of 5 stars, or is it 2.5? It really wasn't that good.
I know like it's going to be hard for us. It's hard for me if I don't like something to finish it, and I feel like if I feel like we, for the most part, kind of read synopses, and. And it kind of decide if it fits our, so we kind of decide if we like things before if we will like something. I feel like if we read something and it's not our best, it's kind of like with you and beer. Like I like the whole
gamut.
The whole spectrum of beer, and you don't. You have a few particular things that you like.
I don't like browns. I don't like
anything
blacks.
dark.
I don't like anything dark.
Mike, that sounded really terrible.
I know it doesn't. Only beer.
Yeah.
I don't like brown ales or
oh god, they're
stouts,
so good though.
And what's the other one?
Porters.
No, I
like
just
porters.
don't.
CDAs. Dark ales.
Sometimes I'll take a taste of one of yours with coffee or something like that.
That peanut butter porter. You have to admit that last peanut butter porter.
That one was really good. I might have been able to drink maybe not a 16.
Yeah, probably just a taster. Probably 4 ounces or 8 ounces, whatever it is.
But
yeah, I know it's hard. Anyway, my point being, we would do shows where we talk about them, and you're like, well, I mean, it's a good beer. There's nothing.
We did our Northwest Brew.
Oh, sorry, did I not say that part? Yeah, we used to have a beer podcast, and you would say, it's not to my liking just because this isn't my kind of beer, but there's positive things about it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if we had a book and we read it and we didn't, it wasn't really like the horror book that we read. There was a good chance I wasn't going to like that book. Bottom feeders.
Yes.
Because horror is not my cup of tea.
Well, there is one book.
But I did love it.
There was one book that both of us were not thrilled with, and we never really said that completely.
Oh, really? I don't
Mhm.
remember what one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
what one you're talking about.
Yeah, so maybe
But I
coming the
think
New
finding the
Year's,
positive.
maybe in the New Year will be. Well, we tried to find the positive, but I wasn't thrilled with the book at all. I mean, we found positives in
No,
it,
I
but
think once we started discussing it, though, you kind of felt better about it.
maybe that was part of it. And I think maybe coming in the New Year, we'll try to be a little more.
Are we being too cryptic?
A
Are
little
people,
more
like,
objective.
looking at their computer like
Objective, subjective, objective on like if something isn't great, if we don't think it's great, maybe we'll say that. There's just something about it that's missing. We can still say, the art was really good, but if the art,
I just find it hard to believe that we're going to find too much stuff that
I know. Well, even today's book, I wasn't sure the first couple pages. I wasn't thrilled, and I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna like this one, but we're gonna read it.
I got sucked in right away.
Yeah.
I liked it right away.
Yeah. So anyhow, that I was reading that about some people were saying that
That was a good little segue there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Reviewers are necessary.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's part of it. Reviewers
let's
are
cushion
necessary,
ourselves up a little bit.
but at the same time, a lot of like when we tweet our show out, I tag everybody that's involved. I
don't like to do that. I always feel so weird about it, even though I shouldn't. I mean, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not like, I don't know what I think, but I feel
tweet
like
them.
it's,
I tweet PR people that are related if they sent us stuff, and I tweet the publishers because I figure they should know we're talking about their product.
Yeah.
Or their book, their baby, whatever it is.
Yeah, they have to know who to come after if they don't like what we have to say.
But at the same time, this one person was saying, well, I don't understand. But the one person was saying that most of these, especially the publishers, they don't usually acknowledge that you even did it. That you they don't. Yeah,
we haven't had a ton of interaction.
No.
From those people.
We did get something else. That we're going to tomorrow. We're supposed to have the audio of that other product that we were sent a sample of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're supposed to be able to listen to the audio version of that.
Oh.
So we'll probably, it's not something that we would normally do, but we were asked. So we'll probably check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially since it's audio. I love listening to audio things while I'm driving.
I don't.
Well, you like to listen to podcasts.
I like to listen to podcasts, but I don't like to listen to and I don't know what it is. If it's just because it's so I don't know what it is, but I've had a couple of audiobooks and I just can't I don't know if it's just the way that my brain functions that I just can't retain anything. It doesn't stay.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm reading a book, it sticks with me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just because I never sit down and really very often sit down and read for hours.
Right.
I'm constantly interrupted, so I'm rereading the same paragraph 10 times every time I read.
Right. So one of the people that we follow is a guy named Ted Brandt, and he tweeted out. He tweets out enough that and we don't follow that many people that I can usually see when people are tweeting things. It's not like we're following 3,000 people and they just scroll by.
We aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, but he had tweeted out that that he found out that his book Crowded was on some pirate site and it had been downloaded like thousands of times. And he was pretty upset because he goes, I'm not a rich guy. He goes, and all these people are getting my work for free.
Right.
So somebody said, what about Hoopla? What about rent or borrowing it from the library?
Borrowing it from the library. And I don't know. I love it.
Well,
but what I don't know is, do they get a royalty every time somebody borrows it? Or, I mean, I know they wouldn't if it was a physical book, but do they with Hoopla?
So what happens is, if they buy a physical book, if the library buys copies,
they get royalties for that. Yes.
With the electronic ones,
right.
The libraries have to pay more upfront.
So they pay more upfront for the book itself, and then
so the creator gets more.
But then that's it.
Yeah, but it's still money.
The thing I've always liked about libraries is that it gives them. I mean, obviously, people are reading the book who can't necessarily afford to go buy a copy. But if you're reading the book, like I have had books that I read at the library and I love them so much that I went out and I bought a book, bought the book, or bought more of that person's book.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not available at the library and I can't read it, or whatever the situation is. And then sometimes it just gets me into that. area of
exactly.
interest, and that's it. I'm sold.
Yeah. So somebody had responded and said, well, what about the library? And he said, the library is great. If people, go to the library, at least I get some money from it instead of sitting on a pirate site and I don't get anything.
Right. And then people talk about it too.
Well, so then
share.
Yeah. So then exactly. So then last week was the first book that we had read from Hoopla through the Seattle Public Library. And we're reading, we read this week's through there too. Crowded by multiple people. It's by
A lot of creators.
Ted Brandt, Rose Stein, Christopher Sabella, and Triana Farrell. So that's the book he was talking about. So I said, let's check it out because he's upset that somebody's pirating his book. And I know exactly what that's like because I've written 10 books and multiple copies of my books have been on pirate sites. And one of them, at least, was on Amazon. Somebody had basically taken a Wikipedia thing and created my book. My first book, created a Wikipedia, they took all the Wikipedia articles basically and wrote my book and released it.
And they were teaching your
Barnes
book.
and Noble had it too.
They were teaching your book in a college class and you didn't even know it because they were just printing and copying.
I don't know. I never got the details. It was Steve's former son-in-law.
Yeah.
Who said, hey,
right.
you're Mike Rizzo? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I read your book in college. I'm like, what book did you read? And he's like,
it wasn't like comparatively when you compare it to other college textbooks, like it was cheap.
Yeah.
Considering the size of it too.
Yeah.
Like
big book.
It was cheap.
Yeah. And he said,
and they were still just giving it out for free.
Yeah. And I'm like,
photocopies.
And I should have really looked into that more to find out where it was coming from because
at that point you were so far, you were already publishing other books. And so you're kind of like, ugh.
Yeah. But yeah, I know what it feels like, Ted. I do. I didn't make a lot of money off of that book, but it was my first book and I get it.
You spent hours and hours and hours doing
long time
researching and everything.
But yeah, and if some college professor is just making copies and handing it to the students to use, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into the book, my friend.
Oh my gosh, we are 15 minutes in and we just now mentioned the name of the book we're reading.
No, I mentioned it a couple times.
I know, but just now. In the last 2 minutes, probably.
Okay, maybe.
We just spent a lot of time bullshitting this morning. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but it's good.
Or this afternoon or, whatever time of day it is.
It'll be on Friday. It'll be on time.
Friday. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so here's the Crowded Volume 1 synopsis. 10 minutes in the future, the world runs on an economy of job shares and apps like Reapr, a platform for legal assassination. When the apparently average Charlie Ellison wakes up one day to find out she is the target of a $1 million Reaper campaign, she hires Vita, the lowest rated bodyguard on the Defend app. Now, with all of Los Angeles hunting Charlie, she and Vita will have to figure out who wants her dead and why before the campaign's 30 days or their lives are over.
Exactly. So, Ted Brandt got his start in comics on the acclaimed series Princeless, working with his partner Rose Stein. Since then, Brandt and Stein have gone on to work for Marvel Comics on such titles as the mighty Captain Marvel and Steve Rogers' Captain America. His best-known work, though, is the Image series Crowded, of which he's co-creator. Let's see who else we got. Rose Stein, if the internet works any quicker here. Rose Stein is a comics penciler who first started working on the acclaimed series Princeless alongside partner Ted Brandt. The pair has gone on to work for that, and they're best known for their current project Crowded. So that was basically, oops, I already got Ted there, Christopher Sabella.
So many creators. It's so cool.
Christopher Sabella is a 2-time Eisner-nominated writer, designer, and publisher living and dying in Portland. He's a co-creator of Crowded, Shanghai Red, High Crimes, House of Muck, Heartthrob, Welcome Back, Dead Letter, Short Order, Crooks, and The Death Defying. He also writes things in other people's sandboxes sometimes. He is catnip for weirdos, father to a block-headed dog named Zola, drinks toxic amounts of coffee, watches found footage horror movies, and sure loves writing about himself in the third person. So did he write that himself?
Probably not. I'm sure not.
Wait, and was that all? Oh, Triona Farrell. I gotta find Triona.
Yeah, 5. There's 5 creators here.
4. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I
Go
thought you
ahead
said
and find
5.
I only see. Go ahead.
What?
Start talking about the book.
Start talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just want me to start gabbing.
Start gabbing.
Well, first of all, the book is full color, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have a preference either way, but I really love the full color, and the art was fabulous. I love that too. So we'll just start off with that. You agree with that with me?
I agree that it was great.
Do you have a preference? Do you think for black and white versus full color?
Well, they're completely different. I mean, they're completely different things. Like we read George Takei's last week, and in black and white, it probably had more.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Meaning.
You're right. I think that definitely had a bigger impact because if it was.
I think some of the books,
black and white.
Some of the books we've read, and some of them we will read. Black and white is because it's less expensive for some of these creators. This is Image Comics. This is a big company that's been around since the 90s, so they've got money to print full color comics.
I see. Okay. See, I don't know.
This is the graphic novel. It
details.
collects what, the first 5 or 6 issues of Crowded. All right.
Wait, say again?
This book collects the first 5 or 6 issues.
What do you mean?
Of the comic. It's a comic, and this is a compilation. That's what the graphic novel is we read.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's the first 5 or 6 issues of the story.
Oh,
this is book 1.
It is 6. Yeah, I think it's 6. Yeah.
This is book 1.
Okay, I gotcha. Sorry, I don't know why none of what you said made sense. It sounded like word garbage to me.
Oh, okay. Triona Farrell did the cover.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Cool. Oh, that was one thing too. There was like on the book there was like multiple cover
in the
designs.
back. Was it?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It had there was a bunch of different.
And there was the different
Hoopla.
What?
Hoopla. You're looking for Hoopla.
Thank you.
Or you can just scroll. Flip your page.
Oh yeah because it was already there.
iPhone.
What is wrong with me? There we go.
Very. Yeah. 4
different ones, and it had Naomi Francois number 6 variant cover. That's kind of funky. I like the cover that is on there, but yeah. Oh, that one's cool too. I like So
okay, so you've got these two characters, and they are the primary story. You've got
both women.
Who are they? Yes, they're both women. Who are they?
Vetty and
Vetty.
Is it Vetty? Vida.
Oh, Vida. Yeah.
Vida and Charlie.
Charlie is the person that's
Charlie is the
dead.
$1 million girl.
Well, it goes up over time. It goes up over
How
time.
can you? I can't imagine. Like
well, let's talk about that as the app.
Okay, yes, that whole part of it. How can you imagine living in a world like that?
Yeah, where you've got people for whatever reason you piss somebody off at work and they don't like you now.
Right now in the U.S., our crowdfunding is used to fund our healthcare for the most part.
Yeah,
and so
or you got Kickstarter.
That's hard enough to believe in the. But I mean, it's more like when I think of it, that's when
you're right.
When I thought of it, that was the first thing I thought of was like that's how we're paying for healthcare right now in the United States because otherwise people just go bankrupt. And to think that it's now being used to legally kill people is, I mean, it's not, but in the story, I can't imagine living in a world like that.
And that's the thing. It's become legal because so many people were using it. The government decided, the police forces decided that I
don't think they decided. I think that they just felt like there was nothing they could do about it.
That's what it was. They decided they couldn't do anything about it. So if you were going after somebody that was in the app, you just had to fill out a ton of paperwork. And as long as you did it correctly, you could basically get away with murder.
Yes.
But if you did it wrong, you could go to jail for good.
Yeah.
Or if you did it outside of the app, then it was just considered murder.
Right. Even if it was somebody who was on there.
I guess so, yeah.
Which is so strange.
Yeah, but like I said, let's say because there was a guy I worked with who I couldn't stand many years ago. It was my first my first computer job.
Okay.
And he was a jerk. He was not a smart guy.
So you're saying you would? I can't think of a single. I mean, I can think of one person.
I probably
okay. I can think of several people, but I can't think of anybody in my personal life that I would. I mean, there's people I don't like, but I can't think of anybody that I would give money to have them killed. Can you think of somebody? I mean, I guess this person in your life.
I didn't like him, and I would do that, but on the reverse though, the one day I was on vacation or the weekend, I forgot what it was, and I had taken. We were doing this. It was early desktop publishing stuff, and we had this big Xerox system where we created our own manuals for the company.
Okay.
And because it was a manufacturer, and he got to work on it too, even though it was in my office, in my department. He got to use it too because he was from sales. So and
you hated him for it?
No. Well, I hated him for that, but he was a jerk anyhow. But he typed this thing wrong on the one. It was wrong, and I happened to see it, so I took it and I put it on my desk, and I was going. I think it was in my inbox, and I was going to fix it or tell somebody, edit it, whatever.
Yeah, you weren't gonna fix it. You were gonna tattle.
And I came back in, and it was gone. And I'm like, "Where the fuck is that?" And I went and approached him. I said, "Where is it?" And he told me that he took it or whatever. And I'm like, and I got into a yelling match with him, and I swore. And everything. This is in the fucking office, in an office with a bunch of cubicles.
I can't even imagine you doing that.
Oh yeah, that's how much I didn't like him. I know. I wouldn't do that at work normally, but I did not like this guy.
You were younger though too.
My point is that
a little cockier.
I could see him
getting crowdfunded because he wasn't
crowdfunding me.
Oh, crowdfunding you.
Oh yeah, because
for one thing. Well, I guess but people probably would want me dead too.
He knew I didn't like him, so.
Wow, I thought you would. Yeah. So you would pay you'd pay money to have him.
Yeah, but you don't have to put a lot of money on.
What is it called again?
Reapr.
Reapered.
Yeah.
Reapered. We should use the word.
Well, it's Reapr.
Yeah,
it's just.
Wouldn't
Reaper.
That be if somebody's on there?
Reapered.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I just create my own words.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
from this imaginary world.
So this Charlie, she is a doofus. She knows.
I wanted to slap her.
She knows that people are trying to kill her, and she's like, yeah, whatever. I got to go do this.
Run off to the strip club.
Exactly. I'm going to go to a strip club. I got to go out. I got to go do. I'm going to
steal a dog.
Oh yeah, the dog became a big part of the story. But yeah, and then Vita is like doing everything that she can to protect her. Even though she's only got a 1.4.
Yes, rating. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, there's more. I
am so into this that I can't wait to read why she has a 1.4 rating. Like there's clearly a reason because she clearly enjoys her job
and she's good.
And she's very good at it. And
somebody pissed her off, an ex or something like that.
I don't know.
Or she pissed somebody off.
Yeah. But she's not on the Reapr app, so
yeah.
But yeah, there's got to be. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to find out what the story is.
We'll definitely read the next book.
Oh yeah, for sure. The next 4, 5.
Well, no, there's a couple graphic novels, a couple more.
There's 6 total, so 5 more
graphic novels.
I'm pretty sure, volume 1 through 6. Oh no, that was just these.
That was these, honey.
That's right.
Yes, that was just those 6 episodes.
No,
6
but
books.
that's the only ones that are out right now.
No, honey, there's more.
Oh my God,
there's more.
Are you sure?
Yes,
there better be more.
There is more. We're gonna read. I know because
I want to know.
The book does not end. There's more story.
I mean, but it's a good stopping point.
Oh yeah, it's a good stopping point. It's not over though. So
okay, thank you for helping me understand this. My brain's not functioning today. I don't know.
All right.
But I'm excited to read the rest. I just have to pay better attention to what I'm reading, I guess.
Yeah, and I just found
volume versus issues.
Yes, they're up to number 10, which just came out November 20th. So they're up to 10 issues, but they're not. There's like 2 issues away from another.
So
another trade paperback.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely that'll probably be out sometime mid next year. So
I can't wait.
I'd be looking forward to that. Yeah, that'd be great. It's good. And
okay, so wait, you didn't answer the question. Go ahead. Sorry, were you going to interrupt me?
Oh no, what was the story?
Well, I'm just curious. Can you think of anybody in your life right now? I can think of somebody that I think you might be willing to, I don't think you would start a Reaper on them, but I think that you would definitely, if you found them on Reaper, add to the amount. But can you think of anybody?
What, my ex?
No,
Oh.
no.
Well, give me an initial.
Jay.
That means nothing to me.
Okay. Well, it's not. Okay. It's.
I can't think of anybody I dislike that much that I'd want. And I think that, I mean, you're reading the story and it's slowly coming out why she's even on this and why it's so high.
It still doesn't really make sense to me because there was like, oh, at the very end you find out more. Okay. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I think that she's made a lot of people angry.
But not nearly as many as are contributing.
Well, yes, exactly. I think that people are just excited to see it go home. Well, and so
like random people could just say, "Oh wow, yeah. I'm going to add to this."
Well, and so
the okay, so the one character, the one person YouTuber. Who's trying to, I got to look up his name because I can't remember his name, but
he's like a reality YouTuber, and that's his thing. He does murders and he does them, and he's a big star. But his star is going down. Here,
I can't figure out. Wasn't she a cop?
Oh yes, there's another an undercover person
she's like doing this investigative stuff, like trying to figure out who they are. And so the one, so Vita, she's like, she can get all this information. She found her journal. She was.
This person did
this
other character that we don't know much
about. What
are
they called when they're hunters or whatever?
Bounty hunter.
Is that what they are?
Well, that's
not what they call them though.
Yeah.
What is his name? I'm in the big battle part and I'm just trying to figure out his name. There's more to his story, I feel like, too, although we got a big chunk of it. So I don't know. He probably won't. Well, yeah, he probably won't come back. Oh man,
I'm just looking at this and it says it's also by Cardinal Ray.
Oh, well, you better give it.
You did say 5 people.
See, I kept saying 5 and you're like, nope, 4. Nope, 4.
I don't know who Cardinal Ray is.
I don't know either, but you should probably figure it out because we got to give them all credit.
I agree.
Since we love their work.
But
I feel like I read his name 1,000 times. I don't know why I can't.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but yeah. So his star is going down. So this is like going to be his like going out in a blaze of fire. He's going to take down Charlie on live TV.
Trotter.
Yes, going to take down Charlie on live TV, and it's going to be this great thing. And and that's his whole goal. And I don't know.
Yeah, and it is almost like a YouTube star kind of thing, which I think it's kind of cool. They kind of pulled things from reality and just like blew them up into this huge thing. Yep. I can't. Oh man, I could see this happening. I could see this being, which is terrifying.
Oh, I agree. There will be a time where you
think so?
The Romans used to do it. They used to kill people in the freaking what was it called?
Colosseum.
In the Colosseum. They used to kill people. Now there's going to be live pay-per-view murders.
Michael, that's terrible.
Executions. There will be. People would pay for executions. I'm telling you, they'd make money.
That makes me feel sick to my stomach.
I don't know, depending on who it is.
I'd
watch.
Did you like laugh hysterically? I don't know if laughing hysterically is what I did, but I was like, oh my God. Of course. When Trotter was trying to shoot, Trotter's trying to kill Charlie, and the dog comes out and he like goes to shoot the dog. He's like, I'll take you out too. And then the people watching like freak out and they're like, no, not the dog. What kind of monster are you? I mean, they didn't say that, but it was like, that was like unthinkable, but killing humans for no reason other than, I don't know, they cut you off in traffic or something, that was acceptable.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't quite, I mean, but that's how people are. The animals are more important than humans, and that's what they do.
I don't think all people are that way.
Not all people, but a lot of people are.
Vegans.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they feel that they're more important than humans. Equally important.
You're right.
But also, I don't think vegans would be paying for people to be murdered either.
There's the ones that are, far to the left. There are ones, just like there are for everything. There's the extremists. That's the word. There are extremists.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I was also wanting to say that
I can't find Cardinal Ray anywhere.
Well,
I can find Cardinal Ray, but I find nothing about this person.
Them?
So, yep, I don't know if they're. It says Cardinal Ray is a letterer and designer.
Bingo Love and Rose
Yeah,
is
I
all
saw
that
that.
I'm seeing is just like a
Yeah.
real quick thing about projects that they've also
Yeah.
been a part of.
So they've. Yeah.
Thank you, Cardinal Ray. I'm sorry that
Yeah.
we can't find your bio.
I think this is Cardinal Ray. Redbird Letters at Redbird Letters on.
Well, they have 114 reviews. Crowded does on Hoopla, and they have a 4.4 rating.
Wow, that's good, and
That's really
it's
good.
definitely worth it. What would I deduct from it? I don't know if I deduct anything. I think it's really good. The artwork is amazing, great artwork, great coloring, story is really good.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean everything about it. It's a really good story, and again, it's
And the main defender is queer.
who Vita.
Yeah. Remember, she's dating or used to date the cop.
The cop. That's right. Yeah.
Or detective. I can't remember.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And there's something. She has some other connection to. I can't.
Yeah.
I want to dig into that character so much.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's 4 other issues. I mean, I guess we could read them.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, this is a good book, and
I'm afraid to read them because then I want
you
the
want
full.
more. But that's what comics are.
I know.
They once a month or every other month you come out and you get your story and you get your fix.
Yeah.
And that's what they are.
Once a month
They're
isn't enough.
serialized, but I'm sorry, Ted, and other creators that you guys have been screwed by these pirate sites. It really sucks.
I mean, it's.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks because somebody just gets a hold of the file or whatever they do, and they're able to upload it to some site.
There's no recourse. You can't.
And people don't care. I mean, people don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I've thought about it at the time. Comparing it to downloading music, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard from a person that downloads stuff. They're like, yeah, these people are getting money. They're not going to care if my one song I'm stealing is.
I know. I mean, I was
Napstered.
Napster. I did the Napster thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean,
peer to peer.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't do that anymore.
No,
I did it years ago. We buy anything we want now. So yeah, it's it's tough. It's tough, but this book is definitely worth it, and it's something that you should check out.
Absolutely.
Do we have anything else?
I don't know. I think that's.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Yep. Next week we'll have Prison Island, and the following week is our end of the year show with our top 3.
Can you believe the year is almost over? I can't even believe it.
It's been a long year too. It's been a long year.
We've had so much going on this year.
So much stuff, from job change to moving to schools to everything.
Yep.
So yes, I guess until next time.
Wait.
What?
Don't forget to visit our website and our Patreon, and find us on Twitter and Facebook.
Yep.
If you like the show, please share the show with your friends. Hey, if you're like you don't really get along politically or something with your relatives, talk to them about podcasts. Oh, I wanted to talk about this podcast that I'm really, really loving right now. Can I do that? Do you care if I have a...
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I have this podcast that I've been listening to and I'm so into it. It's called All My Relations, and it's these Native women who are talking about all things Native, and it's so educational, and it's so nice to get this like insider perspective and learn about their culture and the kinds of things that are going on. So if you're looking for new podcasts, and everybody's always looking for new podcasts, right? Listen to All My Relations. I love it, and I think that you will learn a lot from it. And you can never have enough podcasts to listen to.
Well, you can, but
no.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I always find myself like, okay, I have so much to listen to, and then I'm out, and I'm like, oh, why is there no new podcast yet?
Yeah, no, I know. And we try to get ours out every Friday.
Yeah, but make sure that you share us.
Yeah.
Just talk to your relatives and say, "Hey, check out this podcast. It's called the Graphic Novel Podcast," or share us on Facebook or Twitter, or
somebody that that likes comics. I mean, if they don't like comics,
you still should make them because they'll get into it.
We do talk about other
Remember
stuff.
the review that we got said that they didn't read graphic novels until they started listening to our show, and then they're like,
Yes, because some people still think of them as a kid's thing. A comic book is a kid's thing. And there's so many that aren't.
It's not.
So, yeah.
And especially like George Takei's book that we read last week. It's so, oh my God, like everybody should read that book. Every single person.
I agree.
Anyway, thanks for listening. And until next week.
Who are you?
I'm Parker.
And I'm Mike.
And this is
the Graphic Novel Podcast.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, make sure that you like, share, give us a great rating. We love to hear back. You can find us on Twitter at Graphic Novel Pod, or you can check out our Instagram at Graphic Novel Podcast.
Or you can visit our website. We got a brand new website. It is graphicnovelpodcast.com. Or you can send us a comment or question or any kind of thing like that.
Yeah, we love hearing from our listeners.
Request for a book to be reviewed or anything like that to graphicnovelpodcast@gmail.com. And biggest thing, if you're listening to the podcast and you like it, visit your favorite podcast distribution host like iTunes or whatever, and give us a review. Give us Stitcher or Breaker, all them, and give us a review and stars, because that's.
Hey, if you give us 5 stars in a review, we may read it on there.
Yes, we will definitely, and that will help us expand the number of people listening to our show.
That's the best way that we can share our show is by our listeners.
That's right. So thanks for listening again this week.